The assessment tool I chose is Quizizz. Quizizz is an online quiz game that students can play to see what they've learned. I chose this tool because it is engaging and gives you instant data on what each student answered correctly and incorrectly. To get started, you would simply go to quizizz.com and click on Get Started. Once you have signed up, you would go to the Login button and then type in your username and password. Once you're logged in, you will see this screen. This is the home page. It automatically brings you to all the public quizzes that are already created. So if you feel like you don't have time to create your own, you can just search for already pre-made quizzes. So you would go up to the search box and just type in what you're looking for. So let's look for cells. And you can see there are thousands of cells related quizzes that are already made. You can just scroll down and review all of the ones until you find one that you like. The questions pop up over here so you can preview. It tells you how many questions there are. And if you like that one, you click on it and you can just simply go ahead and play it live, or you can duplicate it to edit it to fit your classroom needs. Once you have clicked the duplicate button, it'll go into My Quizizz. So these are all the quizzes that I have created or that I have duplicated. If you want to create a new Quizizz, you would go up here to Create. You would start out by naming your quiz. I'm going to call this Cells Review because that is my next unit. And you can either set it as public or private. I always just leave it as public and then hit Done. You'll then type in your first question. And then you go down here to enter in your answer choices. You have to at least have 2 answer choices, but you can have up to 4. Once you have all your answer choices typed in, you'll go over here to click which answer is the correct one. Then you can select how much time each student would have to answer the question. So it ranges. 30 seconds is always a good amount of time, I feel like. A minute is usually too long, so 30 to 45 seconds is probably your best bet. Then you can go over here and click on New Question and add as many questions as you need. When you're typing in a question, you can also add an image as the question and have text over it. So you could have a diagram with an arrow pointing, and your question could say, what is number 1 pointing to? Once you have all your questions, you would then click Finish. And you select the grade range, what grades this quiz would be appropriate for. Then you select your subject, and you can click a topic for that subject. Then you have tags. Tags are just words that relate to your quiz. That way people can search and find your quiz. Then you would click Finish and Create Quiz. Once your quiz is created, you can just play live, or you can go back and edit it if you need to. I'm going to show you a quiz that I have already created. So here is one I've created. It has 20 questions, and you can see all the questions and the answers. And if you click on this little button right here, it will show you the correct answer for that particular question. And if you want to play it, you will click Play Live. And right here, I really like these options because you can jumble the questions and jumble the answers. So on each student's device, they're seeing the questions in a different order and the answers are in a different order as well. So it's a lot harder for the students to cheat when doing this, especially if you really want that data to use to guide your instruction. Then you'll click Proceed. And I'm going to show you what it would look like from your screen as well as what the students see. So this is your screen. This would be the student's screen. So students would type in join.quizizz.com, then they enter the game code, which is right here, and proceed. Then they would type in their name. I always have them type in their real name. That way I can see the data and use it, and I know who answered what questions. I don't like it when they do nicknames. Then they would click Join Game. It automatically gives them a little avatar, which they always find fun and exciting. Then once all of your students have joined, you would click Start Game, and it counts it down on your screen. And you'll be able to see the total correct and total wrong for for all questions. And it will show you the students that are playing, and this right here will show up green and red depending on the questions they get right or wrong, and you can also see all the questions. On the student side, it will count it down to begin, and then the first question will pop up, and they have the little timer up here counting it down, and they would just pick an answer, and it will tell them they got it right, and they have these cute little memes, and it will show their ranking. Then the second question would pop up, and they would pick the same thing. If they get it wrong, another meme pops up. Once all students are finished, you can see over here that I got one question right and one question wrong. And then once they're done, you can end the game. And here you would be able to see all the people who played the game and which questions they got right and wrong. And one of the really cool features of Quizizz is that you can export the results into an Excel spreadsheet. And I have one from a previous quiz. This is the same quiz, so down the left side you get to see all of the questions. And then over here would be each student. So there would be a column for each student's name, and you can see which questions they got right and which ones they got wrong. So this would be a great tool to use to drive your instruction. Maybe you need to go back and reteach something, or maybe everybody got every question right and you can move on. So that is basically Quizizz. This tool I use all the time in my classroom. I use it as a review game when we're reviewing for tests. I also use it as warm-ups or tickets out the door. And it's very beneficial to students because it keeps them engaged while they're learning the content, and it also encourages them to get the right answer because they're competing against other students. I also like this better than Kahoot because each student is doing the quiz individually. And so it helps with classroom management. It keeps down on the noise and students getting out of control. So I hope this makes you want to go try out Quizizz. Enjoy and have fun.